What's going on, family? Welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be discussing All the Old Knives. And it came out this year. It stars Chris Pine, and Thandie Newton, and Lawrence Fishburne. And this movie, I got to see it on Amazon Prime. I thought it was fabulous. It's one of those political espionage type films. You can compare it to the Bourne franchise and kind of like the James Bond movies. But this one definitely sits in its own because it's, believe it or not, nothing like those movies. Although you could put it's in that subgenre. This one, it takes you in unexpected ways, unexpected routes, which I enjoyed thoroughly. You know, this is a slow-boiled thriller, which is not gonna please a lot of people, but it moves at a deliberate pace over two timelines. There's a solid cast, a solid story. Just as things get predictable, the third act has a plot twist that you don't even see coming, which is very intriguing to the story. Betrayal is the name of the game, and it has always been for movies like this when it comes to spy agencies and their operatives. Here, not only does the mole, betray their country, but you see that relationships and past issues and certain dilemmas take place and take basically the whole story, and all this gets intertwined into one, which makes it a fascinating experience if you're gonna sit down and watch this movie. Just be modest. Don't expect James Bond. This film is a lot deeper. It does explore the relationships between two operatives, which I think was unique. We don't really get to see that. Yeah, we see Jason Bourne, we see James Bond, and we see that they have these love interests in their films, but they don't go much in depth with it. Maybe James Bond with M, but nothing like this movie. They go full in. Even the love scenes are very gracious. They're very gratuitous. The bottom line is that All the Old Knives is a really fine and very absorbing movie. I recommend it with no hesitation because the rest that I have to say about this just fills in basically the details of the movie without spoiling too much. Spy thrillers on the screen seem to fall, in my point of view, into two categories, right? The first, and by far the most, being the James Bond path. Fill the screen with action, and when in doubt, add in some car chases, some hand-to-hand fighting, explosions, and sex scene, right? Here or there. These efforts can be extremely well done if you have the right director, right producer, and give you a great thrill ride throughout your experience with the film. And if that's what you want, that's what you get, right? There's no lack of choices out there. But the generic problem with those was, in my point of view, was nicely nailed in by the very, very wise writer in this film, Ursula Le Guin. And if the only thing going, for them in this film is the unceasing physical action, because there's not too much action for a spy film like this, but you can tell that it takes more intellect than this film. I've been looking for a film like this for a while because I love thrillers. I love things that make you think. To me, that's more entertaining than the explosions and shootouts and all this. But that's a sure sign, no story is being told, or the words to that effect. Sometimes I have trouble finding the exact quotes in movies or how to maybe approach a scene in the way I'm telling it in a review. But I thoroughly enjoyed this film. So when we have the second category, the John le Carre camp category, much rarer and ultimately more interesting, stylistically speaking. We could call him the daddy of these spy games or spy movies, who came in from the cold in 1965, starting the Richard Burton and Claire Boone film. Although Knives is it's a very close modern version to that. I think Chris Pine is an awesome actor, and Thandie Newton, she's been playing beautiful roles for a very long time now. And they both play these retired intelligence officers tasked with getting to the bottom of an 8-year-old unsolved mystery. And what goes wrong is that their agencies basically lie to them. And at the same time, they both have a history with each other, which make things a little awkward, you know? And they want to know a past issue regarding a flight. And they want to know if it was destroyed by terrorists or was it their actual agencies? Was there a mole among them? And the story gets laid out for us. And what I like what they do is they tell it in flashback sequences. And it replays through their memories, and it replays for you as the viewer. And sometimes there's flashbacks within a flashback, which I thought was very unique. You don't really get to see that in film. And it's bit by bit. I loved it because it's very detailed. And, you know, here's a spoiler-free, review. But there's not a single car chase, fight, or explosion. Not one. There's maybe a gunshot in the film. So that just tells you what kind of movie you're going to be watching. It's very psychological, it's very mind-bending. This is a very gritty, realer, intenser version of whatever you've seen in the past. If you think this is going to be boring, trust me, it's not. You know what I mean? This movie was here to stay. Give it a try. Get some popcorn, sit down, get candy and a fucking lollipop if you choose. Go away and let the grown-ups watch it. The 2 stars, man, they virtually carry the movie, with a bit help from the likes of Lawrence Fishburne and Jonathan Pryce in their supporting roles, who are excellent in this movie. Anything Lawrence Fishburne touches or anything he's attached to, I always tend to watch. I love Lawrence Fishburne ever since I was a kid. I think this man is tremendous. He's excellent at the acting level. And I just look forward to, everything he does. He brings that charisma, that bravado, that Larry Fishburne sense of humor to his roles, and I love it. But they're all excellent, and the dialogue is impressively realistic, constantly engaging. It's through the dialogue in the film that keeps you pretty much engaged. But they're all excellent. Following the twists and turns, they're not meant to be easy in this film, I think, but the scenes connect seamlessly and they flow beautifully. Is there a message underneath it all? I'm gonna let you, find that out. It's never said out loud, but I think that it's just that in the spy business, everybody taking part, sooner or later, right side or wrong side, loses. So be prepared to have a mixed bag of feelings by the end of this film. I thought the film had very, very good accessories. Talking about the cinematography, I thought it was pretty beautiful. They had the sleek production designs, the atmospheric, glossy kind of photography I enjoyed with a very powerful soundtrack. The screenplay, by Olin, I think Steinhauer, was excellent. The acting performances and this high quality, espionage thriller to me was gold. It represented the movies I felt like from the past in a very modest way. This is an espionage for connoisseurs. It's not for most. It's like a game of chess. And, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. A bit slow when it comes to the plot, the speed, but it's, overflowed with decent surprises. And they never seem to end throughout this film. That's what I loved it. It's unusually tight, extremely dark in many ways, you know, very gray and dark at times. You know, not as action-filled, like I said before, as a movie like Spy Games, but eventually pretty decent, you know. It brings back that 70s, 80s classic feel, you know, and I think you're gonna just enjoy this movie just for the acting alone, you know. The R rating this movie gets is basically strictly for the sex scenes, which for the most part, I'm not gonna lie, they were very unnecessary because this film calls upon the viewer's imagination, majority of the film, and with many of the plot elements implied, so you could pretty much spell out those scenes in your head in detail, you know, and man, I look forward to you guys seeing this, you know. I enjoyed this thoroughly. I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. Could have been a bit higher, but after watching it the second time, I saw, you know, certain things that they're weak on when it comes to the plot. I think certain things could have been a little better, but overall, very intelligent espionage thriller. I recommend it highly. Go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime right now as we speak. And let me know what you think in the Discord, man. Let me know if I'm overly hype about this film or maybe underly hype about the film. Let me know what you think. Until the next one, thank you for watching this review. Hit that notification bell and refer this to anyone who definitely enjoys spy films. Till the next one. Peace.